Hey guys, welcome back to Studio 44. Phil Sherman here. I don't have the words to describe how excited I am for this video. Not only do we have fantastic stadiums from creators you've seen here before, not only do we have stadiums from new users that are also fantastic, we have some fun Tinker Challenge stadiums to show off. We have new stadiums that are to be tinkered with, and the Tinker Challenge, I can't express how much fun it has been with these two stadiums. Having Al Pickle started off, and then me making adjustments, and then Sandman Dan make adjustments from there. I think it turned out so good. It's so fun, and that led to what I hope turns out to be an amazing idea. I hope you guys are excited about it as I am. Well, I hope you guys will be as excited about it as I am right now. But guess what? You got to stick through the video to hear what it is, because I'll bring it up when we get to those stadiums that were tinkered with. Finalists are out in the Stadium Creator Challenge. That video has been posted, so make sure you look for the poll and vote for your favorite stadium. 5 creators left. Which creator gets the bragging rights of Best Stadium of the Year 2023? All right, we got all the introductions out of the way. Let's get to showcasing some stadiums. Here we go, guys. I wanted to start off with the stadium that I let slip through the cracks again, guys. I apologize for this. I definitely need a new system of taking stadium requests, because what I think is happening is that some of my subscribers or people who are requesting a stadium to be shown are private users. And when that's the case, I don't get a notification letting me know that I have a new comment. So unless I dig through and find all your comments, I don't see these requests, and that's not to your guys' fault at all. So I definitely need a better way to find stadiums. So I apologize to C London 21, who gave us Audi Field at TCS Mall. It's in Nashville, Tennessee. He told me it is the home of the Nashville Stars. Used to be the Royals. I guess there's retired numbers that are Royals throughout the stadium. Has an altitude of 3,500 feet, and it was built in 2042. So we got a long way before we can play in this stadium, but it's super fun. I feel like this is the second time I've seen a wall like this. Like, I think last video, Wiggywan, right, had one in right field. Nice big quirky wall with fans being able to watch through the windows over here, and a big plaza level seating up on top with some nice luxurious tables above. You got the Nike outlet and Macy's. He fell. I'm guessing that's Macy's, right? Let's fix that for San Diego Studios. Would be nice. We really need to do this, guys. Let's do it. I'm gonna write a ticket to San Diego students listing everything that we find wrong with Stadium Creator. The fact that props are disappearing. The fact that you can't have blue windows that are right next to each other. The fact that some of these lights are redding out in ridiculous spots. Look at this. Why is this red there? Why is it red there? I'm sorry. I always find someone's stadium to rant on, and it's your turn today, London, or C London, and I've already kind of screwed you over once, but I love this scoreboard that goes all the way around this building. And it's labeled Audi Field at TCS Mall all the way around the building as well. And you got the center field entrance down here. Super fun. And then he created a right field entrance using these two buildings blended together. You got a Hall of Fame circle over here with the Hall of Fame sign in it. Smart. I like this little building too. It's almost like it's a subway entrance that takes you almost right into the city. 21 Broadway. Then it's connected to the fans right here. Custom Audi symbol, right? Logo. Yeah, some concessions in right field. There's the retired numbers. More Audi Field labels with the custom logo. Very, very nice. I like their laser ribbons on all the blank spaces between the windows. Beautiful. Pretty standard behind and around. outside of the Audi symbol. Closed off with the hangar or the airport terminal, right? That's what that is? Yep, it's part of that building. Okay. Yeah, very nice, See London. Appreciate the patience. I'm sorry it took so long, but again, I think that's what the problem is. If your YouTube account is set to private, then I don't get notifications on them, because I don't get notifications on subscriptions either when the accounts are the same, because like I'll get a notification that somebody has subscribed to my channel, and I'm like, sweet, I'm up to 301 to 302, and I'll look and it's from 301 to 308, because I got subscribers that they just don't let me know about because their account is set to private. So I definitely plan on creating a Facebook page. I mean, I hate to copy Sewell and Harrison Sawyer, but I mean, maybe that Google form is the best way to get submissions from you guys from now on. And another thing that's been tough is when people, and please don't take this the wrong way, because I love it, love when you guys watch the premieres with me. You know, I like to get on and talk to you guys about what's going on in Stadium Creator, some cool stadiums that are, you know, popping up in the vault, and we talk about, you know, the stadiums obviously that are in the video. But it's tough to save the stadiums. I always just do a screenshot, but then if I forget something or I want to look back at it, it's hard to actually go back into the video and scroll through all the comments. So from now on, please don't take it the wrong way. If I ask you when we're watching the premiere together to leave a comment, or hopefully I have the Google question form up by then. But yeah, I need to do that. Let's turn the lights on. Looks great at night. A lot of lights, a lot of scoreboards, making it look a lot of fun. I'm recording downstairs. You're going to hear the dog barking. I apologize. He finally has a nail appointment to get his nails trimmed, but you might hear some clickety-clackety too. That's what we say when he's walking around and his nails are tapping on the floors. I don't know if you guys are It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia fans, but there's an episode where Sweet D is a stand-up comic, and she's making all these sound effects, and she's going clickety-clackety, clickety-clackety, clickety-clackety. So we kind of borrowed that phrase for my dog's nails. All right, well, there is Audi Field at TCS Mall by See London 21. See London 21, again, I apologize for the delay. I apologize that this stadium slipped through the cracks. Keep watching, keep making stadiums, keep submitting them, and I will show them. Let's move on to stadium number 2 today. Next up, we have Capital City Yards by another creator who is new to Studio 44, R74BMC Polk. Stadium's located in Washington, D.C. It has an altitude of 222 feet, and it was built in 2024. And I took a quick glance at this when I first downloaded it, and I love it. You got 2 decks over here and left with this awesome concourse. Fans are hanging out by the railing. See, this is where I always imagined standing room fans, because I'm here watching the Yankees likely getting swept by the frickin' Blue Jays on the other TV. And I noticed that they have all these railings now with the renovations to Rogers Center. They have all these, you know, party decks and party sections and stuff like that. And they all have railings, and they're all jammed with people lined up along the railings watching the game. And so to see fans actually standing there in this game is just so fun. Look at all these guys hanging out under here, waiting in line. Sorry. Big G just hit a bomb in Toronto. 6-5. Or, wait, no. 6-3? 6-3 in the ninth. Nobody out. 403.70 feet. 111.8 miles per hour off the bat. But back to the stadium. Amazing. Look at the waterfall bar. Gorgeous. I like how it's... I always tend, when I make stuff like this, I always like make it parallel to whatever the feature is. Something about cutting through the waterfall makes it really cool looking. He blocked off the signs, and he's got rocks and signs all over the place. Again, people hanging out on the railings at the waterfall ball in line. Waterfall bar. Oh, I can't talk. See why my radio career was cut short? AGS rooftop grill behind the batter's eye looks phenomenal as well. Awesome. I mean, this is what stadiums are leaning towards now, is having all these party decks and stuff. Cleveland just did a renovation, right field upper deck. That's supposed to be a party area. You got a custom bullpen in here. That looks fantastic. Look at this. You put this prop in there just at the right depth, and it looks like a home plate. Brilliant idea. And then you have it here. Is this the same prop? Nope. This is that utility beam or whatever they call it. Sorry, just checking out the replay of Stanton's home run. Woo! Second deck. It was a bomb. Oh, it's 4-3. Why was I thinking 6? Base hit, Torres. Here we go. Sorry. Zanzibar in right field. Awesome. Again, more fun stuff going on behind the stands and right. Cool little building back here, little neighborhood surrounding the stadium. Nothing going on behind. But, yeah, the stadium was really cool. I remember really, really liking it. I tried to do, with Sewell's minor league stadium challenge, I tried to do a funky little waterfall, and I just couldn't pull it off. So I gave up and demolished it and turned it into something else. It gave me more memory, too. So, you know, hats off to you guys who just have a knack for making this natural-looking stuff look so good. Nature-looking stuff. I like this Show 24 sign built in to the to the bullpen. That looks really nice. Double by Verdugo. Second and third, nobody out. Then, of course, you got Capital City Yards labeled on the scoreboard underneath here. And I'm saying it again. We need bigger letters, bigger fonts. Be able to label our stadiums better. Let's turn on the light. Turn on the lights, I should say. I like how the seating blend into each other over here. I always thought that looked cool. Very nice. Kind of the old school decks, facing it off with a brick. I always agree with that move. I think it's a good move. I'm just not a fan of the green. But I know there's subtle differences between like the slopes and how big the sections are, I think, if it goes to old school compared to new school. I like this higher wall, how it's kind of separated here. This is very nice. I'm digging this stadium a lot. Yeah, an excellent stadium. So R74, wow. I'm impressed, man. Very, very nice. Trying to see if there's any anomalies. I don't think I see any anomalies. But you don't need them. Got some luxury seating and some concessions hidden in there. Looks really, really good. Super, super nice. R74, thank you so much for joining the Studio 44 community. Hope to see more from you soon. Moving on to new user number 3, Justice Beaver 24 gives us Super Earth Park HD2. It's in Big City, USA, altitude of 300 feet, built this year, 2024. And it's one of those pretty symmetrical stadiums that looks really, really good. I've never been able to pull off a symmetrical stadium. Something like the little tiniest thing is off and it just totally ruins it for me. I really like how you just used, you know, this for like the second and third decks. I think that looks really nice along. And again, it's not parallel to the deck underneath. So I think that looks cool too. Of course, in center field, there is 2 more decks. That looks awesome. And then surrounding the scoreboard, you have some luxury seating with the plaza level luxury seating kind of jolting out. That's going to be a fun target. And then you got bleacher sections surrounding the batter's eye. Yeah! Oh, come on! Trevino pinch hit single to tie up the game in the 9th. Sorry. Old school scoreboard on top looking great using the 2 big signs and then the rundown and San Diego studio signs, American flags on either side. I like how the scoreboard is kind of hanging out up here with the Ivy look and home and away scoreboards right here. A little waterfall kind of hidden back here. And again, same on the other side. It looks amazing. Very, very well done. And then across the street, you got this, what is this, like a convention center? Yep, that's what they call that thing. It looks like a convention center. Little city surrounding the stadium with a parking lot. Ooh, I like this little entryway over here. This looks really nice with the fountain and the brick. You got a playground outside. Oh, you got the dinosaurs. See, I don't mind this. That looks pretty cool. It's a moving thing. I wish they would do that with the airplanes. I'm not a big fan of, just dropping an airplane in the middle of the sky. It just stands there. Now if you could have one, like land every once in a while, like if you're playing the game, I don't know if they still do it in San Diego, but they used to have an airplane land in the background, didn't they? If you could do something like that, I think that would be really cool. But yeah, this is a really cool stadium. Let's turn the lights on. The distractions of recording downstairs. I knew there was a reason I put the studio upstairs. I can get up and downstairs pretty good now. I'm sleeping back upstairs instead of this crappy bed we made down here. But getting the PlayStation 5 upstairs, that's a different story. Super Earth Park. Helldivers, welcome. Very, very nice. Then you got a little parking lot over here outside the first baseline. I love facing it off with the fan deck. That looks really cool. The fan stairs. What do they call these now? Stadium staircase. Okay. And it's so clean. Used at a different building to kind of close off the roof. Excellent. Excellent look. I like using this big building. What do they call this one? Is this it's a Brown complex. Okay. I always thought it was a casino for some reason. I don't know. Looks like a casino. Yeah, the outside, the shell of the stadium gives me such an old Yankee Stadium vibe. Looks very, very nice. Very clean everywhere you look in the stadium. And I'm all about it. What's the distances down the line? Because this has got to be a bragging point if you make that second deck, right? 328? Yeah, you might be able to get there. Might be able to do it. Especially Home Run Derby. Home Run Derby are up there. Yeah, I get a very Yankee Stadium vibe out of this place. Especially the old one. Justice Bieber, 24. A great first entry to Studio 44. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. So Jackie Robinson Day was 2 days ago, so I figured why not bust out Jackie Robinson Field from Carmen's dad. This stadium is located in Los Angeles, California, has an altitude of 357 feet, and it was built in 2023. Now, I think there's other versions of this. I don't know if there were Carmen's dad where there was an actual roof on it, but this was the latest version of this field, and there's so many versions of it. Looks like a lot of people downloaded it and re-uploaded it because, they were fond of the stadium, and why on earth wouldn't you be? Look at this fountain out here and right going into the pool. It looks amazing with the pool on top, people hanging out over here. Then you got this bleacher section right next to the batter's eye. Same over here. You got a little, I don't know, just a grassy area. Maybe people can come out of this building, come out and watch the game. Another little hill with the flag. You got the kid zone over here with the playground, and then get ice cream and popcorn. Man, both. I'll get both. I said it in an early video. I had a big old bucket of popcorn when I caught my foul ball from Giancarlo Stanton. By the way, listen, I like to take these opportunities while we're looking at stadiums to talk baseball too, not just talk baseball stadiums. I don't know if I've brought this up again or not. I think I have. I'm pretty sure I have. Maybe even in the last video I did. But bases loaded, 2 outs. Yankees are down. Was it tied? I think it was tied. Pitch comes way inside and low. Ump calls it a strike. So now instead of 3-1, the count is 2-2. Aaron Judge ended up hitting a double, and the Yankees take a 6-4 lead. We're now going into the bottom of the ninth. But if we had robot umps or some kind of built-in strike zone system, or even the challenge system. Have we talked about this from the minor leagues? I went to the Red Wings games last year, and they were trying out this new system where if you touch your head as a pitcher, a catcher, or a batter, you can contest the pitch, whether it was a ball or a strike, ball or a strike. It didn't take long at all, and it was actually fun. It wasn't just about getting the call right, which is ultimately the most important thing, but it was like exciting to see it come on the board and, and prove that the umpire was wrong and the batter was right. And you're like, yeah, it was a ball, and they change the count and you move on with the game. If they had called that a ball like they were supposed to, the next pitch was also a ball, and they walk a run in instead of allowing a 2-run double. So, the umpires actually ended up doing the Yankees or the Blue Jays. They did the Yankees a favor and hurt the Blue Jays. So I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you've seen that challenge system with balls and strikes, but I love it. I have people who tell me that they like the replay system but hate the idea of robot umps. You're contradicting yourself, because the whole point of replay is to get the calls right. It's embarrassing. It's frustrating when you can see on TV that the result should be different from what really happened because the umpire blew a call. Now, I know it's an incredibly tough job. I have umpired game myself, and I play in a league where these guys make so little money, and they come and they're sweating on a 90-degree day on a Saturday or Sunday, and, they got fat guys like me bitching at them about balls and strikes. So I get it. It's a tough thing, and I try to give them credit, and I try to give them the benefit of the doubt. But at the same time, you can't just be bad at your job and keep accepting paychecks. This Angel Hernandez thing is such bullshit. The guy's got to go, or they need to find a way to make him better. In the league that I play, we get 1 game a week. So if you're lucky, you get 4 at-bats a day, which means 4 at-bats a week. And when you have some bullshit strike 3 or even strike 1 or 2 that totally changes the at-bat called against you, it's beyond frustrating. So I try to, like I said, I try to cut umpire slacks. I don't go chasing them through the, parking lots like parents tend to do. I don't attack them. That stuff is obviously bullshit. But as a player who gets frustrated, you have to be able to let it out in a respectful way. And I've had Carmen's dad, I feel like I went into a rant last time I looked at one of your stadiums. I'm sorry. But man, look at this plaza area behind. You got the wolves back there howling away on top of this hill with the palm trees. That looks amazing. La Lobos. That looks really good. I mean, I can just picture myself crossing the street and entering the stadium over here, coming to a game. You got the flags blowing. Jackie Robinson Field over here above this. Look at this custom sign. Awesome. Oh, and I appreciate a good set of stairs. That looks great. People hanging out. They're not going to get a double play. 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th. Yankees winning 6-4. Look at the city across the street making great use of those roads. And again, behind, using his favorite building to face off. He gets so creative with each one. None of them are the same, even though it's the same building he usually uses. It looks great. He's got these little lights up here with the big ones, too. Speaking of lights, let's turn them on. Outstanding. Do we know the deal with... Here's another thing that frustrates me. Oh, no, they're on. Okay. From behind, it didn't look like those lights are on. Do you guys ever have problems with some lights not turning on when you create them sometime? I don't know. And what's with this stupid stuff? I couldn't save the stadium yesterday. I'm looking at it online right now because I couldn't save the stadium. Why is that redded out? I don't understand. I don't know. We need to write our big ticket, all of us. What do you say, guys? I'll write one up saying everything that's wrong with Stadium Creator and all the things that we want that should be here. And then if we all copy and paste the same ticket, it's got to hit them, right? It's got to jar something that, like, hey, this is what some people really want. Especially some of the things that seem like such little fixes. I haven't noticed those black little dash marks on the home run fences this year. Have you guys noticed that? That's one thing that drove me crazy about last year's version of the game. I haven't noticed that as much. But look at this. Even getting funky with the roads, making a little tunnel over here. Leading into a parking garage. Excellent work as always. You know you're going to get an excellent stadium when Carmen's dad's name is attached. Hall of Fame section out here with the waterfall in back. That looks really, really awesome. That I'm definitely going to steal that idea eventually. Hiding the green, of course. And then look at this deck back here. One over here as well. Oh, you got the splash zone. Carmen's dad, I'm guessing that's what the CD is for. Luxury seating underneath. You can't put one up there, though, can you? Ground ball up the middle. Volpe makes a nice play to end the game, and the Yankees savor one game out of the series. Sorry. Turned into a play-by-play announcer over here. Los Angeles Lobos. I'm guessing that's your team. Now, you told me that you have rebranded every team, but I don't think I ever got this answer. Do you use real players or do you use fictional players like I do? Because I would love to share some roster members if you do use fictional players. I love taking guys from other leagues. And if you've used the Ricky Davis League roster before, please let me know. I'm dying to know how guys like Steve Stewart and Ricky Davis and those guys do like against other teams. I think that's super fun to share, with everybody. That's what I love about this community. Gorgeous, gorgeous work, Carmen's dad. That might be our thumbnail right there. Look at that. I think I used this stadium for our last thumbnail. Maybe I better mix it up. Can you blame me, though? All right, Carmen's dad, thank you so much. It's a piece of freaking art. And let me know. I think there's different versions of the stadium, so if there's a different one you want me to see, let me know. You have so many good ones that I'm trying to stay organized and catching up on showing some of your stadiums. So we're going to move on for now. Heading back to new creators in Studio 44, we have STL Cards 0728. He asked me to show you Samsung Energy Park. It's in Las Vegas, Nevada, max altitude, and it was built in 2024. And the first thing that caught my attention was this cool grass area butting right up to this plaza level seating. Now, in like the first or second video I ever recorded and put on YouTube, there was a stadium like this that kind of had this grass area with the signs flipped around to give it a brick wall, and it went all the way around. It reminds me of that stadium a lot, but this stadium is another symmetrical one, and it looks awesome. I love this plaza area behind the batter's eye, and you don't see this batter's eye used very much, but he built in some anomalies that help make it look a lot better. This is from Chicago, right? The White Sox? Excellent, excellent work blending it into this plaza area back here, this courtyard. Signs placed in the right spots. Nice little planter right here with the bushes, giant scoreboard above Snack Shack. Then you got this is the Cleveland building, right? It's in right field in Cleveland, I want to say. One of these buildings is. Looks like you might have a couple blended in together to make it a little bit bigger. People, of course, hanging out on the deck using the fence anomalies there. And then the same in right field. Again, hats off to those of you who can make these symmetrical stadiums look so good. Maybe I had to take a shot at it again. Not much going on outside of the stadium. But you guys know I never hold that against anybody because I myself am not very good at creating those village areas. Flipping the lights on. And he's got that courtyard lit up very nice. He's got the fans staircase with the sign covering it up, looking really good. Excellent, excellent work. How deep is it down the line? 328, okay. It looks so much closer. It looks, the home run fence with everything so compact behind the home run fence. It makes the home run fence look pretty shallow, but it's pretty standard. So Excellent work, St. Louis Cards at 0728. I definitely like this stadium. This stadium is gorgeous. It's fairly simple, but it's just compact and clean and just very, very good. So, welcome to Studio 44, St. Louis Cards 0728. And of course, I have to go back to thanking you guys for submitting stadiums, because this channel is so much better when you guys are giving me these stadiums that are so good. Sometimes it got hard digging through the vault to try to find stadiums to showcase on the channel. So once I started getting requests from you guys to show stadiums, this channel just seemed to just gradually get better and better and better and better. And so it's all thanks to you guys giving me these great stadiums. So thank you so much. I have so much fun watching them or looking at these stadiums, and so much fun showcasing them. And I really like it when people make, oh, dude, that stadium is awesome. I'm going to download that one. It makes me feel good to know that I'm showing your work and that other people will get to appreciate them too. So, all right, I keep babbling on. Let's move on to another new creator. This one is a little conundrum, so help me out, especially the person who submitted the stadium. Okay, so this is where my conundrum comes in. We have the Greenfield Compound. Remember earlier in the video I mentioned how I got a stadium request in the comments of a live premiere. Well, not a live premiere, but you know what I mean. While the first time the show premieres, you can chat live with it. And this request came in one of those chats. I took a screenshot, and I wanted to go back and get more information about it. And it came from someone called Maverick Media. I tried to search Maverick Media, and it didn't look like it matched the person who made the comment. And I asked the person what his ID was, and he said the mayor number 1068. Number side, hashtag 1068. But the only Greenfield compound I found in the vault was made by Jet 1515. So when I looked up the mayor, hashtag 1068, nothing came up. I tried to look up just mayor, and a bunch of different mayors came up, but not this. So I hope I'm showing the right stadium, but I like this one. It's got the Wrigley feel with all these buildings with bleachers on top, and this cool like apartment building right in the middle of the stadium with more bleachers on top. And in the back, more buildings with bleachers on top, scoreboards on buildings across the street. NFT and Chill podcast. Now, this is one thing that made me think I had the right channel, because it says Maverick Media in the live chat room, and it says NFT Chill and podcast. So I hope I got the right guy. I like the fountain kind of blended in back here in right field. You're not getting any balls up there. I don't care how shallow this is. How shallow is that? 315. Yeah, you're still not getting the ball up there. 315, that's like Yankee Stadium right field. And see, that's what I don't necessarily like about, there needs to be outfield field level seating. You know, like outfield field level seating should be no bigger than this square right here, right? You never see that in big league parks anymore. So they need to have like a little section like this so you can put right up against the wall without having to use the plaza levels down there. But yeah, you made great use of it, and you got bleachers everywhere. Anywhere there's a building, you got bleachers on top. I dig it. You got the team store over here, and you got a Greenfield stadium staircase. This corner looks great with the lazy river. People sitting on benches over here watching the game. Hall of Fame section with statues in the middle. Very nice. Pretty standard around and behind. Looking good. People hanging out on here. Fantastic. A flag right in the middle. So I hope I got the right one. I hope I got the right person. Again, the Jet 1515. Props on the stadium. Maverick Media. If you're the one, props on the stadium. Please let me know in the comments if I have this right. I'm so excited about. I want to get this up and edited, but I need to take more advantage of this free time I have off. I still got like 2.5 weeks left, so before I'm back to work, I will have Facebook created, maybe the Google Forms. This is a cool little section over here too. Getting very creative with the corner. So yeah, I hope I got the right stadium. Maverick Media or the mayor or Jet 15. Lots of buildings surrounding the stadium. Look how big that one is. I always forget about this one. I don't use that one as much as I should. They're so big. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I do like that SDS has upped their game with the buildings at night. They used to just be so dark. But now you got little lights on here and there on even the surrounding buildings. So I think that looks really cool. I will always, with all the things that frustrate me about Stadium Creator, I will always give them their props where they deserve them too. Because I've said it. I keep repeating myself. I mean, what else? What brilliant other things am I going to say? But this tool is just so close to being perfect. But they have to keep adding new stuff. They have to fix the bullpens. They have to put numbers on the walls, the distances on the walls. They have to give us bigger numbers. They have to give us a retired numbers prop. Those are have-tos. They need to give us some kind of prop that gives us a roof without having to build our own custom roofs. I mean, why is it so far-fetched to think that you could build a roof? It doesn't have to hang over the field. But look at how big this thing is. This could almost substitute as a roof. Just build a shell, some pillars, and make it so you can get it as close to the field without redding it out. I mean, look at that. That right there could almost substitute as a roof. It's big enough. Why can't you make a prop big enough that looks like the roof of a stadium? I mean, it'd be nice if you'd be able to close them on certain weather days, when you're playing a game in April or September or the playoffs in October where you want the roof closed because of weather. But I think that would be a good short-term fix. Give us a prop that you could put over the stadium. Wow, I've ranted on three stadiums this video, but all right. So Maverick Media, Jet 1515, or the Mayor 10068. I'm official doing a shout out. Is this the right stadium? Maverick Media, is this the one you wanted shown? If not, let me know in the comments ASAP, and I'll get that one shown for you as soon as possible. Gorgeous stadium. Let's move on. Studio 44 is back in the Arch Mage business with MLB 24, Rick Whitfield, 1928. I think he made some adjustments to this in the new version of the game and asked me to showcase it. So here it is. Brimingham, Alabama, altitude of 548, built in 1910. And who better to give us a retro park than our good buddy Arch Mage? Is this a rebuild? Is this a real stadium, or is this one that you came up with? Either way, it looks fantastic. You got the little bleacher section. This is fun. This is a stadium you're going to be hitting balls out of the park left and right. Well, although it's pretty deep back there. Holy hell. How deep is this? Wouldn't it be nice if we could just look at the wall and see how deep it is? 428 down the line. Woo! No wonder Babe Ruth was out homering teams back in the day. And then super short and right. Well, I guess not. I guess it just looks super short because it's so deep and left. It's 334. That's like average. Taking full advantage of the new bleacher prop. Nicely done, Arch. Seating surrounding the batter's eye. A little parking lot out here. Man, that's a poke, 428 right down that line. Another amazing little village outside the area. Yeah, Arch, I got to know, is this a replica or something you came up with? I like this little river or creek. Are you a crick or creek? I used to be crick, but now I'm a creek guy. I used to have a crick in my backyard, and if you hit it in there, you were out. But if you hit it and it bounced over, it was a ground rule double if you hit it in the right spot. Or maybe it was a home run and an out because there was a home run fence because you wanted to get rewarded for the home run, but at the same time, we had to fish the damn ball out of the creek. So you're out, too. We had fun, quirky games like that. I'm sure everybody did, depending on their backyards. And that's another thing that got me interested in stadiums, playing wiffle ball in different, quirky dimensions. And we used to call it outback ball. We'd use tennis balls and wiffle ball bats, and you had to lob pitch. This has the perfect old school feel. A lot of those little stadiums had that like pointed, like almost like a castle on a lot of the spots, it seemed like. At least ones that kind of come to mind. I want to say it was an Atlanta stadium or a Georgia stadium. I've showed pictures of it before. There's like a staircase at the end. And it looks like a castle. Arch is a master at these entryways too, behind home plate. Rickwood Field behind here. New lights have been installed so that we can play at night. Do you think they ever did that with like amateur teams? Like, I know there's a lot of high schools around here that have lights on their field so they can play later games. Do you think they did that back in the day for younger stadiums? Maybe they did it cheap. I don't know. I doubt it. They probably didn't get the idea until the majors started to do it. But it's a brilliant concept. We lit our wiffle ball field. The video, I don't know if you guys ever watched it, but I have a video posted on here giving a tour of my wiffle ball field. And you just put up those big caged work lights. I had 3 of them in different spots, and as long as I didn't blow a fuse using them, we could play at night. It was a lot of fun. So, I mean, there's not a bunch else to say about this, but if this is a replica, I'm sure this is what it looked like. Look at this. I like the little construction going on out here, like they're still working on it, or it could be grounds crew. Arch just always puts together pieces of art. No betting. You got that, Shohei? No betting. Okay, rant number 4. I'm no Shohei guy. I think he's overrated. He can do both. He can do both. That's amazing. 1, it's not going to last. And 2, the dude has missed, 3 years of pitching because of injuries? It's not going to last. Now, 4, you can't tell me this dude is just stealing $4 million and he didn't notice. He gambled. But if he didn't gamble on baseball, personally, as someone who's not a Shohei fan, I don't care. And, I mean, Shohei's basically supposed to be the cover boy of MLB right now, but dude can't have a little fun and gamble? Come on. As long as it's not on the game of baseball, especially, on teams that he's played for, especially if it's not against the teams that he's on, you got to cut the guy some slack. Who cares? It doesn't seem to be an issue because it's kind of gone away, but it was a big deal for a while. I think there's fish there. I mean, hats off to his translator who's probably taking a dive for him. But I don't know. I don't know enough about it to accuse anybody like that, I guess, but it just seems fishy to me. All right, Arch. Thanks for being involved in one of my rants today. Thank you for submitting another awesome stadium. I know we have plenty more to show from you, so we're going to save them from now. And I think we're ready to move on to the Tinker Challenge stuff that I can't wait to show you because it's been so fun. And it gives me a great idea that I hope you guys are excited about too, because for my great idea to work, you guys need to think it's a great idea and participate. So let's get into that now. So this is Westside Park. It comes to us from Al Pickles. It's in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Max altitude, built in 2024. And just like St. Clair Park, a fun little stadium. It's got an old school feel to it, just like the other one with the Camden Yards warehouse building off here to the side. 3 decks, old school roof. On the side, just 1 deck kind of resting on top of this huge concourse or deck or whatever you want to call it. And some people are hanging out over here. You got this little deck over here, the circular building closing off the corner, and the St. Louis Cardinals Steakhouse building is lined up along with the third base line. So I'm trying to talk to it real quick. Forgive me, Al, for going through it quick because I got 2 different versions of it to show you after this. And it was so fun. I was smiling ear to ear after, seeing what I changed from Al's and then watching what Sandman Dan did to mine. And I got to do it with St. Clair's again too. So bear with me. And then I'll get to the controversy of tinkering with stadiums. So here are the changes I made to the stadium. Westside Park Remix, Grand Rapids, altitude 2,500, built in 2024 from Peebs 2123 and Al Pickles, or Al Pickles Peebs 2123. Over in right, I bricked off the upper deck and added a luxury suite line underneath. And you got some people hanging out with the standing stools or the standing tables. And I bricked off this little section. It had a different brick, I think, than what he had over here. So I blended them together, and I put some standing room fans against the corner here watching the game. People are lined up at the concession stand. I think I lined the warehouse with luxury seatings. Now, again, some of these guys, when they're there, they might not have a lot of action of the game, but they can still be involved in the atmosphere by going out on the deck, even though they can't see anything. But at the same time, they got a big screen TV in there, right, in their luxury suite. So, did I add this building under here? Or was that already there? I don't remember, but I raised. I think I added it. I raised that and moved this into a second deck. And then above that, I put another row of luxury seats underneath the roof. Over here, I kind of closed it off with the scoreboard like he had used on the other side. I kept his hill. I love how he used his hills. Put a fence up so people won't fall off. And then I borrowed this idea from Bo Tiger, I think it was, who just had a little tiny deck. And instead of leaving space underneath it, I thought it would be fun to kind of have it go all the way down to the hill. And then, of course, people are hanging out. I don't know how much of the game these guys will see way back there, but there they are. And he had this as just a regular backdrop. So what I did is I used the dinosaur one and put this in here as an anomaly so that I could build off it and I could put guys up here. And again, whenever I see this Minnesota Twins batter's eye, I want to have decks go off that match, where the actual decks are of the batter's eye, because then the stairs end up looking cooler, I think, and it just gives it a cooler vibe. And so I tried to do all these different levels, and I didn't want them to be parallel to each other and exactly the same each level. So that's how it turned out. I wanted something cool up here, so I thought maybe they'd show off some Army vehicles or something, kind of put them on a pedestal. I thought I put a brick under there. I guess not, with the concrete circle, because I always thought brick framed it better. And then, of course, a million different people are going to be up here looking and watching the game at the same time. So I got people hanging out on this area down here that he had. I just grassed it off. I kept his fountain, and I liked his little concourse that curved out behind. And then I think I closed it off back here with that stake prop again. I'm never crazy about leaving stuff that goes right into windows. I don't necessarily think it looks that great, but sometimes you just can't help it. But I custom made the scoreboard by putting the two together and then covering it with this guy. I can't remember if he did that or if I just copied it. But I really liked how it turned out. I think I moved this circle in a little bit more. And then I put some... Did I put the tables there? I don't remember. I think he had the tables there. I just looked at the freaking stadium, too. Oh, and I put these guys around. I don't know if I was crazy about this, but I figured it with an old-school stadium, sometimes you can modernize it a little bit, like old Yankee Stadium and Fenway Park. They're so old, but they make all these adjustments to it because they have to find more ways to make money out of the park that they have. So I added these luxury seats that go around and above. I don't know if I'm crazy about that or not, but I left it. I stuck with it. And I also changed the brick. This was tedious work because he did such a good job of facing off this, because otherwise it's just, concrete. He had that other brick, but I wanted it to match over here that he had. So I changed that to the brick, and I put scoreboards up. He might have already had a scoreboard in one of those spots. And he did a great job of creating this, like, almost like, what is it, a splash guard on, like, in a countertop. I really like that look, so I just extended it when I moved the seats around and added more seats, I think, to this little corner. And I thought it turned out pretty cool. It's a fun little park. I don't think I would ever start a stadium with these dimensions, but it was really smart how he had the concourse, kind of jolt back and then go back in even further instead of, coming around the stadium. I think that was a really cool idea. So he made it look really good. Like I said, it's not necessarily my favorite dimensions for a home run field or a home run fence, but Al made it look really nice. So, I don't think I like these changes as much as I like the changes from St. Clair Park, but it was fun. I had a lot of fun doing it, and you spend so much time on it, and then you go in again, and Sandman Dan had made his changes. So let's take a look what Dan did to build on top of what Al and myself already did. There's no remix there, but maybe it should be remix. Grand Rapids, Michigan, max altitude, built in 2024. These are the changes that Dan added to what I did. Left center field, he added the sign, and he changed the scoreboard to the MLB Now and the standing brick sign. He added some people hanging out. I think he bricked off the top of the anomaly. He's got people in here in line, and they got the scoreboard in the back, the laser ribbon. This was my favorite part. He kind of added the steps that go up and wrap around to the anomaly. And he's got people hanging out. He added concession stands to the building in the back. And in the corner, he added the karaoke singers place where the ballpark eats right in the middle of it. And they're, of course, in line to get some eats. And then look what he did here. He took the luxury seating. Oh, and he's got people in the booth. Nice job, Dan. See why I get a kick out of this? So fun. We need to do more of this. Why didn't I even realize it? He got rid of the ballpark eats thing, or the steakhouse. Okay. It's just so cool to see other people's interpretations of the work. I get such a kick out of it. He replaced the splash guard, or whatever you call that. What do you call that? Is that right? Splash guard, splash wall? Oh, no, it's still there. It's just kind of covered up with signs, which looks great. In an old school stadium like this, you would expect to see those signs. So smart, Dan. I like it a lot. Change the scoreboard to that old school one. I always thought this one was kind of expensive, but he added another layer of luxury seats up top with the roof. And then in right field, what else in right? I think he added the burgers, right? That wasn't there. I didn't put that there. So he left that the same. Oh, I faced off with the brick, but I thought I put brick on the bottom too, but I guess I didn't. Yeah, he's got people like in these seating areas in here. Right field, I don't think he... Oh, this! I remember this! This was amazing. Putting the steps to go down and hang out in here. He took out the wall and all of those luxury seats and just curved it around to close off that stadium. I think that looks really nice. And then he cut this in over here. So now you got the concession stand and the laser ribbon and all these people here. So, I mean, even if you don't necessarily like the changes someone made, which I do, don't get me wrong, I really do like these. But it's just fun to see other people's interpretations of what you created. And, of course, this is on top of what Al already created. So, super fun. I was, like, smiling. I still am, ear to ear, watching this or looking back at this. And I think he added these, too, right? The luxury seats on top with the roof. So, I want to do more of this. Give us more stadiums. I'm going to open up my entire vault. Go through my vault, pick one out. I'm not saying I like it or use it. But I'm very interested to see what you guys would do with some of my stadiums. So please look through some of my stadiums. My user tag, my gamer tag is peeps212344. Take any stadium in there, download it, mess with it, and re-upload it, and I'll showcase it. I've run into different versions of United Airlines Field in the past. I didn't necessarily like the changes, but it was so fun. It was so flattering to see that people liked the stadium enough to at least download it and mess around with it. In the first version of the game, I think a lot of people messed with the ballpark at the Moonshot Casino, and that was fun to see. But lately, I haven't seen people download my stadium. So he faced this off outside. So fun. I got such a big kick out of seeing this. So thank you, Al Pickles, for offering up the stadium. Thank you, Sandman Dan, for tinkering with them yourself. And let's go to St. Clair Park real quick. I'll show all three versions real fast, I promise. And then I got two other stadiums to show you that need to be tinkered with. Okay, so here is the original St. Clair Park. I don't need to go through all that stuff. Again, a fun little stadium. I like the giant hill around. He had the plaza level seats, scoreboard over here. This was my favorite part of the stadium. I loved the bleachers behind this big wall and butting right up to the plaza level seating, and then the upper deck on top, the park in the corner, guys hanging out over here, the staircase with this intentional talk sign, 2 levels of seating around and behind, and just a very clean, nice, old school looking ballpark, right? You got the anomaly in left with the scoreboard underneath, with the brick building right here. Fun little stadium. Here it is lit up. Very nice, Al Pickles. And then he offered this one up to the Tinker Challenge. Here's what I did with it. Boom, just like that. Here it is, St. Clair Park Remix. In center field, obviously, that's the first thing that grabs your attention, is I kind of surrounded faced off that hill with the waterfall prop. And part of it got buried with the natural greenery that comes with this Angel's Hill. And then I closed it off down here so that it could hold the water. Same thing over here in right center. And then I added this brick on the hill for people to hang out. Now, you know me, I'm very, very, very safety conscious of my artificial intelligence. I need my artificial fans to be safe. So I closed off center field of the hill. Plus, you don't want people up there anyway, right, with the batter's eye? Even though they do it in Fenway Park, right? They have people above the batter's eye, so. But I didn't want to build the wall down here, so I put the fence up here so they can be on this top part of the hill and on this concourse, and then same thing over here because they're blocked off from the center part of the hill and they can't get down in here. So I used the steakhouse again. I'm going to be using this a lot now to face off stadiums or to close off stadiums. I think it's a great looking building for that. And then I added people hanging out up here. Of course, I added the fence, safety first, to fake people. I threw a little luxury seat there, giant scoreboard. And then this, I think, is my favorite part of my tinkering with the stadium. I added people to the anomalies underneath and put a roof on it, kind of like over here, how, Al did. Borrowed the idea to block it off. And then I put the arches in the background with the deck. Ooh, that's not good. There you go. We don't want that wood sticking out there. That's what she said. Hey-o! Yes, I'm 45 years old. But, yeah, I put people hanging out, watching the game, sitting at the tables. And then on top, you got the standing room tables. My little door that I use that's probably too short for these people. Let's see. Is it? Yep, too short. You got to duck to get in that door. But it's kind of in front of this plaza level seating. I brought this building in to kind of close off that upper deck, put the old school roof, flipped the stairs around and added people to the balconies off the back of the stairs. Turned the parking lot into the steakhouse building again. Over in right field, I did the same thing. Turned that around. Blah, blah, blah. You saw this in the last video. I'm trying to go through it fast. People are hanging out on top. People are now in luxury seats over here. And that's about it. So now let's take a look at what Dan did on top of this. Okay, so again, my attention's brought to center field again. He turned the building around, added a snack shack and a nachos hot dogs stand over here. He's got people on the standing room tables, and he's got people lined up to go in. He's added people hanging out on this balcony. He's got bleachers on that one. And he closed this off with a concession stand and some signs. He added stairs. I like the stairs. That looks cool. And he brought the stairs down to get to this little area. Excellent, Dan. Why didn't I think of that? So good. I don't think he... he added the strike zone meter. Perfect. Fits on that perfect. What do you guys think of this... I mean, what do you guys think of this as a substitute for a fence? I got tired of that same old this guy. I get tired of it. Plus, I don't know. It seems like this takes up less memory. I don't know. What do you guys think? I've been using that a lot lately. He brought this over more, right? This is one change I wish I would have made. I'm not crazy about these bleachers. They're so old and crappy looking. I wish I would have used the Dodger bleachers under there, but he added it all the way around the corner, closed that off. That looks really nice. You got a little picnic area, and then he curved this around a little bit more and closed out off the stadium, added this fan tower again, or spun it around with people hanging out on it, and he put the show sign up here, and I love this. He kept this part of the brick, and he got rid of this part that kind of jolted in, but replaced it with this deck that curves around, and I think that looks so, so cool. This is the part I was looking at last night and just had a big smile on my face. This part and the stairs going down that ran into this. Excellent. So much fun. I want to do more of this, and this will bring me to my idea. Let's do it right now. Okay. So we've talked about it before. When the Tinker Challenge first came up, someone I think maybe mentioned in the premiere of the video or in the comments of the video, the New Orleans stadium that I made, someone mentioned, hey, why don't we build a stadium together? We can get online and, I can build it, do all the work, and then I may not be the best person to do that because I don't have the best patience when it comes to some of the tedious work, like the tedious work it takes to make those stairs and like the outside of stadiums like Arch makes and the villages and stuff like that. But I mean, I got the camera and stuff. But anyway, I'd make the stadium and you guys would leave comments in the comment section telling me what you want, right? Fun. Here's where I can make it so much more fun, but I'm counting on you to want to do it, to like the idea, and willing to do it. Because before I mentioned putting yourself out there, and here's where you guys would be putting yourselves out there more. This past weekend, my brother and I did a lot of work on a Dick Van Dyke Show trivia contest that we were doing for Respect the Pick. And it involves people calling in through a Google phone number. All right? We can answer it on our phones. We can answer it on the computer. You can hear us through our mics. I can hear you through the headset. I can hear the listener through the headset. And the voice records and streams live. Instead of leaving comments in, I could create a phone number. I could get a Google, I think it's called Google Voice, a Google Voice phone number that you guys call in and we can talk about the stadium we're creating together live in a live stream. I want to schedule this. Let me know in the comments below so we can schedule this as soon as possible. If you're willing to do it, it can be so much fun. Am I right? I think it would be a blast, and it would be great to, interact with you guys and more than just typing back and forth, because that's one of my favorite things about this channel is meeting all you guys and learning your different styles and your different takes on different stadiums and seeing what you respect about other people's work and stuff like that. I think it would be freaking phenomenal. So please, if you're watching this on the premiere, let me know if you're willing to do it in the comments right over here, or where would they be? Over there, right? Yeah, they'll be over there. In those comments right over there, or they might be below us too, right? Depending on what you're watching this on. In those comments, let me know if you're willing to do this, and we'll set this up. I mean, it's not much different than calling a talk radio show, right? Except for you're going to be heard by hundreds of people, not thousands or millions. So, yeah, what do you guys think? I'll do it. I want to make one together, and let's fucking make it viral. Let's fucking bury Costco and Stadium Row and Hattie Glitch and all those. Let's make a stadium together and make it viral. Wouldn't that be awesome? Let's do it. All right, I'm psyched. Okay, so yeah, here's Dan's. And believe it or not, I still have 2 more stadiums to show you. Oh, in the corner, he made this another plaza area. He got the signs or the fences, the glitched fences. Oh, and he has this little deck coming off over here, and he added this behind. See, wouldn't it be fun? I think it'd be so fun to work on a stadium together. I'm so excited about this. You guys have to do this with me, please. I'm begging. I'm begging you to do this with me. Oh, it'll be amazing. And we can do it like once a month or so and create a new stadium. We can come up with ideas for themes. Maybe we can create new stadiums for some of the Ricky Davis League teams for next season. Anybody who won a Ricky Davis League team this year, you're in. Maybe we can edit some of the stadiums together. Like, say Murph came up with the stadium for the San Antonio Defenders. Maybe we can all get together and patch that up. Maybe we can patch up Brooklyn Bombers Stadium that I made with the bridge, or United Airlines Field. I don't know. I think it could be so fun, and I hope you guys are on board with it. And I hope the technology doesn't fail us, because we spent hours and hours and hours on Saturday trying to get it to work, and then Sunday came and we went to do the contest, and it still failed us. So we ended up recording on Mark's cell phone, going Facebook Live, and then using my phone to accept the phone calls with the speaker turned up as loud as possible, holding the speakers up from my phone up to the mic of his. But we think we have it. So now that he has it, and now that we have it for Respect the Pick and we know how to use it, I can do the same thing for this channel. And I would absolutely go nuts for this opportunity. So please, 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 please do this with me. So, all right, there's Dan's version. Great ideas, great takes. Again, all from the foundation that Al Pickles gave us. And he's given us 1 more, and then Sandman Dan has 2 more. Maybe I should save one of Sandman Dan's. One of them he wants us to fix, and the frickin' stadium's gorgeous. It's so beautiful. I don't know how the hell we make it any better than it already is. Oh, I'm getting too excited. Oh, this has been so much fun, guys. All right, let's look at those. Let's look at one of Dan's stadiums. I'm going to show the one that I just flipped out about, because now you guys are going to be curious. So I'm going to show that one now. Okay, so this is the stadium that Sandman Dan wanted us to tinker with. One of them. He has another one. I'm going to save that one. This one, though, is so freaking good. I don't know what the hell he wants us to do to fix it or change it or tinker with it. I shouldn't use the word fix it or, make it better, because, like I said, Al's stadiums were fine on their own. But this is Aloha Stadium in Honolulu, Hawaii, altitude of 3,000 feet, built in 2023. And look at this freaking thing. I'm gonna start over here. Great use of the anomaly. I like how he kind of hid parts with the green. I think that makes a lot of sense. and he's got people hanging out in all the spots they should be hanging out. And then he's got this gorgeous waterfall over here. People are checking out the waterfall from over here. Now back here is where it gets really good. Wait till I swing around. But right field, he's got a couple decks and the sign up here, or the scoreboard with the Aloha Stadium. Fantastic. The Aloha Stadium, so he stole the A from Anaheim, put a little scoreboard up here. And now look at this freaking concourse out here. That looks amazing. The way it circles around and, you know, putting the palm trees in the middle of it with the tiki hut type picnic tables and the perfect concession stands for these concourses. Excellent. And then he's got the rocks over here kind of blocking it off. And then he's got boats hanging out and the dock. And then over here, it's just, again, I told you like in the second stadium, how it was so cool, how I always tend to just want to be parallel to the home run fence when I make a concourse or a deck or a bridge or whatever. But here it kind of jolts back, and I think that looks so cool. And then he's got these rocks in the middle things with trees on them. This freaking stadium is awesome, Dan. This may be your best so far. I love it. And you want us to tinker with it? You may not like the tinker, so... Oh, it gets deep out here, though. I want to put shots over that bridge with Steve Stewart. 362 in this alley right here, so... right here, you can probably put one over that bridge. It's automatically the best stadium. He's got a canoe and a flashy canoe. Yes, Dan. But great use of this building with the water already in, and it's got its own bridges, and people are hanging out in there. I freaking love this stadium, Dan. Like I said, one of your best, if not the best. I've recorded the video by now. I'm sure you've seen it. He's already got one of the best stadiums of 2023 with Westside Park. It's a finalist, one of the 5. I freaking love it, Dan. I do have some ideas that I would change, but, I mean, you might not like them better than what I would do, so we'll see. And again, Dan offered this up to anyone. He said you guys are free to tinker with it. Now that I've said that like that, let me get to the controversy here. I'm going to try to say this as cordial as possible because I certainly don't want to accuse anybody of anything because, like I've always said, I'm so appreciative that you guys are willing to put yourselves out there and you're so willing to, you know, hand over stadiums for me to showcase and talk about. I appreciate the fact that you guys want to do this and that you're proud of your work and stuff like that. Here's what's happened recently. I had someone want me to show a stadium. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to name the stadium, anything like that. It was clearly almost an exact copy of a stadium I showed a couple weeks ago, maybe even a month or 2 ago. So when I looked at it and downloaded it, I was like, oh, okay, this is one that someone else made, and he downloaded it and tinkered with it, which is fine. Even if someone doesn't ask, it's perfectly fine to download a stadium, you know, and tinker with it and use it for your own. It just kind of hits me the wrong way when you download a stadium or copy a stadium and claim it to be your own. Am I right about that? Personally, I don't see what the person who does that gains out of telling someone, hey, this is my stadium, when it's not. Please don't take this the wrong way. I really mean no malice because, like I said, it's perfectly fine. I used to do it in the first version of this game that had stadiums. I used to download stadiums all the time and change them and use them on my own. And I remember one time watching Harrison Sawyer's channel, someone found my original version of Wolfpack Park. They downloaded it. They changed like maybe 2 things. I think they put a city in the background. And then here's Harrison Sawyer telling everyone, oh, look at this park that Joe Jones made. Blah, blah, blah. It's so good. Look at the stadium. It's so awesome. I was like, wait a second. That's my stadium. I mean, wait a second. That's my stadium. So, you know, as stupid as these little things are, they're just stadiums we're making on a game that 300 people are looking at on a YouTube channel. You know, it shouldn't be a big deal. Like millions of dollars at stake over the stadium. But at the same time, come on, let's give the people the credit who deserve the credit. Whenever I showed a stadium that I downloaded from the vault and I didn't know who created it, I always put the person's name who uploaded it. And I would say, if you're not the person who created the stadium, I apologize. If you are, let me know. I want to give you the credit. I certainly don't want to create any enemies out of this statement. But at the same time, it just rubs people the wrong way if you're going to go out there and take someone else's work, whether you copied it, whether you downloaded it, tinkered with it, and re-uploaded it. Just give the person credit who you tinkered it from. I would have loved the recognition on that stadium that I saw on Harrison Sawyer's page. I don't run into my stadiums very much in the vault, so when I see my stadium on someone else's page, I was like excited that someone saw my stadium, liked it enough to download it, re-upload it, and tell someone it was theirs. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, but I made it. You didn't make it, I made it. So I hope I don't come off as a prick on this issue, because that's really not my intention, like I said. The whole idea is just to give the person the credit who helped. When Al Pickles did the tinker, you know, I didn't just put the stadium was by Peeps2123. It was by Peeps2123 and Sandman Dan. The St. Clair and the Westside stadiums that all three of us, I'm going to put all three names on there. You'll see it in the video. So that's where the controversy comes in. Again, please don't take this the wrong way, because I get the fact that it's just my crummy little YouTube channel, and most people probably fast forward through most of this anyway. I never want to create enemies. If you build a stadium, or if you copy a stadium, or if you tinker with a stadium that you didn't start, just give that other person credit. That's all I'm asking. And you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm accusing this person of, you know, stealing a stadium when maybe that person stole his. But at the same time, it's one of my favorite creators. I know his style. I know for a fact I showed that exact stadium in a video. So I just wanted to bring this matter to attention, because there's been some stadiums before where I'm like, I think he just kind of downloaded this and changed some things. Again, that's totally fine. Just give the original creator the credit and say, hey, I changed a couple things. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so that was my biggest rant of this video. Even though I'm not looking at it as a rant, I'm just trying to make a point as cordial as possible. I have one more stadium I want to show you. It's another stadium from Al Pickles. He asked us to take a look at it. We can download it. We can tinker with it. And I'll showcase it after you've let me know about it. But we have to give Al Pickles credit first. He made the foundation. You know, we're just building off what he started. Okay, I promise this is the last stadium of the video. I will not rant about anything during the presentation of the stadium. This is Lake Park. It's in the city of Spring Lake, Michigan, right? MI's list, Michigan. Max altitude built in 2022. Again, from Al Pickles, he asked that we tinker with it. It's a cool stadium on its own. You got some plaza level seating coming off the warehouse in right field, bleachers underneath, and then boom, there's some water right there. You got a home run deck here in the corner with some bleachers on top of that, and bleachers over here. I know I'm going to be hitting balls over them bleachers into the water. Cool Aloha Jones going out into the dock. That's a great idea to have that set in there. I get a Coco Cay vibe, Royal Caribbean's Island. And then you got the convention center and some buildings here with the dock out here. And, of course, putting the lighthouse on. Perfect. And then you got the fair coming off out here. Big parking lot, another convention center. Little city back here. Again, Al makes them nice and clean. You know, very practical, looking phenomenal. He just asked that, he says this one's up to Tinker Challenge. And again, I offer mine up to Tinker Challenge. Again, I can't promise I'll use them in the Ricky Davis League, but I would love to see your guys' takes on some of my stadiums. United Airlines Field's in there. Obviously, Ballpark at the Moonshot Casino. There's like 8,000 different versions in my vault. The one I'm interested in the most is Wolfpack Park. I've never been crazy about right field. I'm pretty much content with left field. Left field, I think this is the third time I've recreated that stadium. Left field is always exactly the same. So I'm curious what people would do with right field with that kind of theme. It's one of my old school vibes. I don't have many old school vibe stadiums, but Wolfpack Park in the vault, if you want to take a look at that. Of course, I already have New Orleans Demons. That's the name of a stadium I have in there. Murph and Sandman Dan have already made fun changes to that. Bomb Squad Stadium's there, the stadium with the bridge and the right field bleachers that you can hit the ball over. Sewell showcased that one for me. The Dam, Beaver Stadium, and ACOM Stadium are the three. So, yeah, if you guys want to have at any of those stadiums, feel free to download them, tinker with them, re-upload them, and I'll take a look at them. I'll showcase them. And if, you know what? If the changes you make them better, I'll use them in the Ricky Davis League. But, yeah, this is Lake Park from Al Pickles. Have at it, boys. So now you have St. Clair Park, Westside Park, Lake Park, and Dan's Aloha Stadium Park. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll have it written out in graphics, typed out in graphics. So that's what you have to tinker with if you so wish to do that. Again, you just have to leave the stadium name and the gamer tag in the comments below. I'm going to ask again that you please make sure that the stadium name matches the name that's in the vault. Like sometimes it's Moonshot Park, but you type in Moonshot Field. So I'm looking for Moonshot Field, and there's like 85 pages of it, and I can't find you. And then I kill the field or the park or whatever, and then it shows up. But it can take a while. And you can just say, well, Phil, why don't you from now on just put one part of the name in? The vault isn't the best in the world, so a lot of times it doesn't pick up everything just by, using one word. So please, with your stadium requests, and again, leave them in the comments for now. If you're watching this premiere and you type it in, I'll ask you to leave it in the comments in addition to the premiere comments. Again, I appreciate you guys so much watching the premieres and commenting and having stadium requests. It makes my channel so much better. You can't imagine how much that means to me, how appreciative I am of that. So it just saves a lot of time looking for your stadiums in the vault. Make sure your stadium name matches what's in the vault. It makes it easier for me to find. And again, the gamer tag also helps, a big deal, to make sure that they match up together so I can get these stadiums out a little bit quicker. So, stadium name, gamer tag, comments below. Don't forget to vote. We're going to vote until, what did I say? That's the date over there. That's the date when we're closing off voting. So congratulations again to those 5 finalists. Please like this video if you did indeed like it. I'm not asking you to lie. If you didn't like it, don't like it. Don't click that button. I get it. But if you did like it, just take the time. Hit that like button. Hit the bell and you'll get notifications when more content comes out. And let's do this, fellas. Let's make a stadium together and let's talk about it. If you want to comment, that's fine. But the way I figured we could do it, because I can only take one call at a time, but, if I'm talking to someone for, say 5-10 minutes and there's someone waiting, making comments, just let me know in those comments that you want to call, and then I can wrap things up with that current caller, and then, we can chat for a minute, and then if they want, they can call back, whatever. I haven't worked it out 100%, but I think it could be so fun. If we don't do it like that, we could end up doing it like we've talked about. Like I could build like a foundation of a stadium, then pass it off to Dan, then Dan passes it off to Sewell, and Sewell passes it off to Murph, then Murph passes it off to Arch, then Arch to Bo Tiger to Carmen's dad to, Al Pickles, whoever. And I don't know. I got such a kick out of seeing these remix stadiums that I want to see more. I think it's so much fun. I think it's a way to make this channel stand out a little bit more, because there's only so much you can do with baseball stadiums to show my stadium, show stadiums other people made, So I'm trying to find some ways to keep this a little bit more fresh, than just here's another stadium, here's another stadium. Brr, 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 brr. So yeah, I think it could be a lot of fun. So let me know in the comments below. Let me know in the premiere comments if you're watching with the premiere, and we'll schedule it. I would like to do it as early as next week. I'm that excited about it. I don't want to wait. I want to do this before I'm back to work from my knee surgery. So let's make it happen, guys. It's all on you. It only works if you guys not only want to do it, but are willing to do it. And willing is a big word when it comes to any kind of performing or any kind of art, because you have to put yourself out there and you have to be willing to be open to criticism. Not that I've ever received criticism. Maybe one dude on the premiere video I did. But I look at it as constructive criticism because no one's perfect. You can always make your stuff better. I know I could make my stuff better by shutting the fuck up. And not blabbing on for hours and hours and hours. So I'm done. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see y'all very soon.